Yo, what's good YouTube? Sam Crow here, aka Scoop, back with the Nina Morning Nation Draft League, and we've got our Season 3, Week number 2 match, and we're taking on none other than the defending PBF champion, Ginger, and his E-Town Escavaliers. So if you take a look at the squad down at the bottom, he has Weeball, Thunderous Therian, Primarina, Mega Agron, Roserade, Mian Chao, Tyrantrum, Delphox, Armaldo, Bidoof. Actually, no, it's the evolved form. Fuck, I forgot its name. And Donphan. And we have Mew, Mega Pinsir, Zeraora, Rotomwash, Floette, Eternal, Skarmory, Druddigon, Breloom, Alolan Persian, and the Drifloon. And our Z-move users are Mew, Alolan Persian, and Drifloon. And backtracking to Ginger's team, his Z-move users are Thunderous Therian and Tyrantrum. So yeah, two pretty scary squads here going at it. I think Ginger is sitting at 0-1 right now, and we're sitting at 1-0. So if I lose and he wins, then we will both be sitting at 500, 1-1 going into week 3. But we would much rather give Ginger his second loss, unfortunately, and get our second win here, fortunately for us. Anyways, if you look on screen, you can tell. At the top, that's going to be my squad. I've got Mew, Mega Pinsir, Zeraora, Rotomwash, Skarmory, and Alolan Persian for this matchup in particular, where I kind of built around Zeraora putting in the work, Zeraora and Mega Pinsir putting in some offensive work once Mew kind of tries to break through Mega Agron and maybe things like Roserade and things like that. Anyways, Mew is a Cold Berry variant. My opponent does have Weavile. I'd like to catch that thing off guard if I can. Bop it with the Aura Sphere. And that's why I have the Cold Berry. I have quite a bit of defense investment, and I have enough speed to... Don't really have anything specific that I'm outpacing, but if he's like min speed or no speed on a lot of his mons, such as Primarina or Agron or Roserade, Armaldo, Donphan, things like that. None of those things are going to be able to outpace me. And we only have 20 EVs in speed, which gives us a lot more EVs to work elsewhere, where we've put 220 in defense, 248 in HP, so we're quite bulky, can take on Mega Agron pretty well. And as long as there's nothing like Toxic or Thunder Wave or something like that, we can Calm Mind up and then roost up on things like Primarina, Roserade, Mian Chao. Also, Cold Berry helps against Mian Chao. Mian Chao could have knockoff. But we're a Calm Mind variant with Psyshock and Aura Sphere. Aura Sphere is there for the Weavile, Mega Agron. If we can set up a Calm Mind or something like that, and net a knockout, and then he tries to revenge kill us with Weavile, or Cold Berry will pop, and we'll be able to knock that thing out with the Aura Sphere. Unless he has Chocolate Berry as well, which would be some nice prep on his end. And we have enough special attack investment to always knock out a Weavile with Aura Sphere non-boosted. So we don't have to be boosted to knock that bad boy out. Next up we have Pinsir with Swords Dance, Frustration, Earthquake, and our last move. I'm not going to talk about my last move. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be talking about my last move. It's kind of something that I'm going to keep to myself. We are a max speed Jolly max attack. We are max speed and max attack. I don't normally do that, like the speed creeps and things, but in the case that he's not, like a Scarf Mian Chao, I would like to at least speed tie with that, and potentially speed tie with it, avoid being knocked out by something like Rock Slide or Stone Edge or something like that. Net a knockout with Frustration. Earthquake is there for Tyrantrum. It's there for the Mega Agron. Excuse me. And really, I could have ran Stone Edge for Thunderous Therian, but I felt like the rest of my squad deals with that pretty well, and I shouldn't have too big of an issue with it. I have Zeraora, which outspeeds it and can do quite a bit of damage with it. Alolan Persian naturally outspeeds it. I don't know how much, what he's going to be speed creeping and things like that on his end, but it was just something to think about. If I can just get some chip damage off with maybe Mew or even Mega Pinsir, put him in the range of Life Orb Zeraora, then Thunderous Therian shouldn't be too big of an issue, and I can potentially take advantage of it with my own Volt Absorb, which would be pretty cool actually. So yeah, Mega Pincer's really awesome, but yeah, the main cleanup mon, the fastest mon we're bringing this matchup is going to be Zero Aura. We are speed creeping, I believe, a Weavile that would be speed creeping my little Persian, and we have not adamant, but we have a naughty nature, so we have, plus attack, 252 EVs in attack with 84 EVs in special attack. This gives us the most damage output and allows Grass Knot to potentially 2-hit KO Donphan, which is really nice, and then allows us to maximize our damage output with Plasma Fist, Close Combat, and Fire Punch on the rest of his squad. Plasma Fist blowing things back that's not named Thunderous Therian, Roserade, or Tyrantrum and Donphan, which I do have coverage for. Close Combat for the Tyrantrum, Fire Punch for the Roserade, and Grass Knot for the Donphan. So nice 4 attacks and Life Orbs there. This should work pretty good. Next up, we've got Rotom Wash, which is quite bulky, quite defensive. Got a little bit of speed investment just so that if he was barely trying to speed creep and no speed invested Rotom, then I would be able to speed creep, bypass that. Got enough defensive investment to survive hits from Weavile pretty comfortably, Tyrantrum pretty comfortably, even like a Dragon Dance. A +1 Outrage doesn't knock me out after Stealth Rocks. It does like 75 or something like that. This thing can take on Donphan pretty well too, and gets me momentum with Volt Switch. Of course, I do have to watch out for his own Volt Absorb and Thunderous Therian, but I do have Hydro Pump, which after Rocks could potentially knock out the Thunderous Therian depending on his set. And we've got Defog and Protect. I've got Protect on here because if he wants to like put something to sleep with Roserade, I would like to scout for that. If he's a Scarf Roserade, which is a potential to catch out, to catch my Weavile, to catch my Mega Pincer off guard, to catch my Zero Aura off guard, or my Floette Eternal off guard, anything like that. I would like to scout if I know he's Scarf from earlier, then I can Protect, scout, see what he's going to lock himself into, and then switch accordingly. I have Grass Resist, Poison Immunities, and things like that. So should be pretty okay in that regard. And next up we have Skarmory. And Skarmory gives us another defensive tank. Well, not really a tank, more of just a defensive wall. We're max Spadef, max HP. Allows us to take 1 Thunderbolt from Thunderous Therian, which is really nice. Can switch in on Moonblast from Specs Primarina all day long. Don't necessarily like Scald or Hydro Pumps. Those do roughly half. Hydro Pump does more than half. Can take on Mega Aggron pretty well. Roserade, Mienshao, Tyrantrum. Can take 1 Fire Blast from Delphox as well, so can eat up all kinds of hits from my opponent's squad. Can Roost it off, can Whirlwind, can Taunt. I can taunt things like Mega Aggron. I should outpace it unless it's got speed investment. I should be able to outpace quite a bit of his team unless they have speed investment, such as Mega Aggron, Donphan, Armaldo, things like that. And then this is our designated Stealth Rocker as well. Of course, my pace bin will be in the description below, so if you want to check out my EVs and stuff like that, feel free. And last but not least, we have a mixed defense Alolan Persian with the Darkinium Z and the Fur Coat. So we can take a Leaf Storm after Stealth Rocks from this bad boy, from like an offensive Roserade, and we've got Taunt and Parting Shot. So Taunt allows us to prevent Stealth Rocks from Aggron, any kind of hazards from Roserade, prevents rocks and hazards from Armaldo and Donphan as well, outpaces Tyrantrum naturally with no speed investment, and can take a hit after Stealth Rocks from Tyrantrum, Weavile, Aggron, Donphan. All of his physical attackers outside of Mienshao we eat up hits from, and we can click Knock Off, get rid of items, which is really nice. We can Toxic the Primarina, Toxic Donphan, Toxic a Weavile. Can come in on Weavile and always click Toxic, can Parting Shot out. And if we get a Parting Shot, a Z Parting Shot out into, say we stay in with Mega Pincer versus Weavile, and we take the Ice Shard or something like that, knock him out with Frustration, we can later on Parting Shot, Z Parting Shot into Mega Pincer, bring that thing back to full. Of course, we'll take Stealth Rock damage if it's up afterwards, but getting back, decently, healthy is really nice for Mega Pincer. So I think the squad's going to put in work. especially Zero Aura. I see Zero Aura doing a lot of the in-game work. But yeah, it's going to be the prep. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll go ahead and hop into the replay. Alright, so here we are with the replay. And my opponent does bring the Thunderous Therian, Mega Aggron, Tyrantrum, Mian Xiao, Armaldo, and Roserade. So pretty much everything I expected. I did not expect Armaldo. Maybe Weavile over the Armaldo. Scarf Weavile could have been nice to catch Zero Aura or Mega Pincer off guard. Yeah, so he's got 3 potential Stealth Ruckers and a potential Toxic Spike user and Spike user, I believe, in Roserade. And his 3 potential Stealth Ruckers are Mega Aggron, Tyrantrum, and Armaldo, so that's pretty scary. 3 different potential Choice Scarf users. Tyrantrum could be a Choice Scarf user. Catch my Mega Pincer way off guard, but I think it would make more sense if Mian Xiao or Thunderous Therian were Scarfers. And if it is the Thunderous Therian, I expect it to have U-turn over like Volt Switch or something like that because of Zero Aura. I don't see him just packing Volt Switch to try to spam that or anything like that. I think his biggest threats to my squad would probably be the Mian Xiao and using the rest of his squad to wear down Mew and Skarmory so that Mian Xiao can put in the absolute most work. What his game plan is, I don't know. Obviously, what good would it be if we knew each other's game plans going into the game or whatever. Anywho, so depending on what he wants to lead with, I kind of have like a designated lead in my Alolan Persian. It can taunt basically all of his hazard setters, and I can hard switch into Mew if he leads off with Mian Xiao. So I'm going to lead off with my Alolan Persian and see what he wants to lead with. And he's going to lead off with Armaldo. So I'm just going to Parting Shot out. I don't want to take a Bug Type move. I'm going to go into my Skarmory, as he does go for the X here. And what I can do is just taunt this bad boy in case he had Stealth Rocks, as he goes for the Smackdown. So that's a pretty cool tech. But what I can do here is get my Rocks up or Roost or something like that. He's going to go for the Earthquake. It's not going to be able to, do even close to half or anything like that. It might be a 3-hit KO, but as I Roost up, it's not going to be too big of an issue. I really wish I had Toxic on here, because I could have Toxic the Armaldo and wore it down over time. But I'm going to Hard Switch out to my Rotom here, and he goes for the Earthquake once again, and I'm going to Volt Switch out as he actually stays in and goes for the X-Scissor instead of like going for Smackdown into Earthquake again, or just Hard Switching out into his Roserade, which is the play I kind of expected. So I'm going to go out into my Alolan Persian here. I take the attack, the X-Scissor, pretty comfortably, and I Toxic him as he actually goes for Smackdown, predicting my Skarmory this time. I'm going to Parting Shot out as he brings in his Roserade, and what this is going to do is it's going to give me Zero Aura, and it's going to force him out, and I'm going to go straight for the Fire Punch. And here I make a misplay. I just went for Fire Punch, and it did 39% to Mian Xiao. So I know he's bulky, and I know that I 100% outpace him. There's no way that this thing has that much bulk and can outpace me at the same time. So Plasma Fist will do close to 75%, judging by how much Fire Punch did. So what I'm going to do here is actually go out to Mew. So that's a misplay. What I should have did was calc this damage and went straight for the Plasma Fist on the following turn. But I do go out to my Mew. He does click Knockoff, and my Cobra Berry pops, and he's just going to U-turn out on the following turn. So he has enough speed to outpace my Mew, which my Mew isn't bulky at all. I figured he would Hard Switch, but he doesn't, and I get a Calm Mind up. He goes straight into Armaldo once again, and I'm going to go straight into Skarmory. I can't just allow Mew to go down for no reason to an X-Scissor, barely getting damage on Armaldo. So it is poison now, so I can keep my Rocks up if I just spam Rocks and Roost here over and over and over. And he's going to actually Rapid Spin once again, so I'm not sure what his thought process behind that was. I would have won that exchange 10 times out of 10 by keeping my Rocks up and taunting him and so on and so forth. But here he brings in his Mian Xiao once again, and I knew he was bulkier from earlier, so I go straight for the Plasma Fist, and I'll almost knock him out. And on the following turn, I'm going to go for Fire Punch, just in case he goes out into his Roserade, predicting the following Plasma Fist, and he brings out his Mega Aggron on the following turn as I go hard into my Skarmory. It was kind of an easy play for me to make there. I'm just going to roost up here as he actually reveals Thunder Punch, but after a roost, obviously, it's just a neutral, so not too big of an issue, and I am going to be able to get my rocks back up. But he hard switches into Thunderous Therian, and I stay in here. I couldn't allow this thing to get like an agility up, because it would have swept my team at this range. And had he got a Nasty Plot up, that would have been bad too. He wouldn't have swept, but he would have been able to take quite a few of my mons down potentially. So this Whirlwind brings out his Roserade here. I'm going to hard switch back out into my Mew as he goes for Spike. So that was a fire play for me. I was able to get in Mew without taking any damage, and I can roost up now because I can guarantee that if anyone hit. Had he went for Giga Drain into Giga Drain, he would have knocked me out, and that would have been bad. So here he brings in his Aggron as I roost back up to full, and I'm going for Calm Mind again as he reveals Toxic. So that's a little bit unfortunate for me, but I am going to be able to Calm Mind up again, and then he's going to go for the Heavy Slam here. Heavy Slam into Heavy Slam plus Toxic will knock me out. So I just have to fire off this +2 Aura Sphere and weaken him as much as possible. So I get him down to 30%, and what I can do here is taunt him with my Skarmory so that he can't do any kind of weird shenanigans like resting or something like that. And he goes for Thunder Punch. It doesn't do over half, even with it being super effective. And I'm able to roost up here. I get that play right as he Thunder Punches. He got the Earthquake play right, but it didn't matter because I would have had my Sturdy intact at that point. And I'm able to roost up here, and I get every roost right on the right turn there, and he gets a para. So this man's clicking Thunder Punches, doing 30% to my Skarmory. Bounces off and things like that. I don't know why he kept clicking it. I guess he was fishing for the para. But it's kind of an unset. But that's okay. Anyways, what I'm going to do here is click Whirlwind. It's my only attack, and it will drag something out, make them take rocks. And now I'm going to stay in here and try to roost up as he reveals Toxic Spike. So he's got a Spike up and a Toxic Spike now, and gets a second layer of Spike up. But I'm going to Whirlwind once again, and it brings out the Thunderous. I'm going to Whirlwind again, though. I know I can take any one hit from full because it's 30. And I was EV'd to live one anyway, so it wasn't too big of an issue. And yeah, I'm going to go into Rotom here because this is my only opportunity to defog these Toxic Spikes away, and I can get my rocks back up pretty easily. So now I'm poisoned though, which is a little bit unfortunate. I can knock out this thing with Volt Switch, and I do. Go into Zero Aura here, and I can stay in here and click Fire Punch, but I'm just going to go hard into my Mega Pinsir as my opponent gets a critical hit. So he's gotten a para and a critical hit so far, and I'm going to be able to knock this thing out with a Frustration. And now I kind of feared Scarf, but here, I'm going to make a misplay here. My play is to always stay in an attack. I don't need Mega Pinsir anymore. It doesn't beat either of these mons. My play is to stay in and click Earthquake. But because I was paralyzed earlier with my Skarmory, I'm more inclined to just go into my Skarmory and sack it off. Unfortunately, though, he's going to set up a Dragon Dance, and this Rock Slide's going to be able to knock me out. So, had I clicked Earthquake there, I guess he was kind of like, he had to. Like, he lost 100% if he didn't just bank off my choke. And I do end up choking there. I don't get the damage I needed with my Mega Pinsir. Earthquake would have put it in range of Hydro Pump. Rotom Wash would have gotten the knockout there. Then Thunderous Therian could come in and get its chip damage off on my Rotom. But after that, then in comes Alolan Persian, and I am quite Spadef, so I would have been able to take one hit from Thunderous unless it had Focus Blast, and I would have been able to Parting Shot, or just click Knockoff and get rid of its item and get a little chip damage off, and then bring in Zero Aura to click, the last move and knock him out with. But I did make a misplay there with my Mega Pinsir. I was able, or unfortunately, to let the Tyrantrum set up without getting any prior damage on it, and then Rotom Wash wasn't able to survive 2 hits to get 2 Hydro Pumps off. So that's sometimes it happens, it just happens. I mean, I outplayed him the entire game, and then got paralyzed there, and then got crit on my Mega Pincher as well. So a little bit of unfortunate things happened there, and maybe go on tilt a little bit. I don't want to blame it on tilt. I just made a misplay. But prior to the misplay, the misplay could have potentially never come into existence had I not been paired earlier in the match, if that makes sense. Had I not been paired earlier in the match, I could have gotten rid of quite a few things. I could have roosted Skarmory, would have been at full. I would have been able to whirlwind this thing out, so on and so forth. Get my rocks back up too. All kinds of different things could have happened. But that's how Pokemon is sometimes. Sometimes you make a misplay. Sometimes you choke a game away. Sometimes you don't get the damage you need on something. Sometimes you save something you shouldn't have saved, and that's what happened here. I saved Mega Pincer when it, really provided no positive outcome any way I looked at it there, I suppose. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be a good game to Ginger. Good luck the rest of the season, brother. And that's going to be it. So let me know what you guys thought about the preps and plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.